Now you're currently assistant principal at Epic Academy, and that's also in Chicago, right?
Right, correct.
Yeah. So kind of talk to me about your experience there. You were first. Were you teaching at first, and then you decided to become principal, or how did it go?
No, so basically my little journey is when I got done with grad school, I was
Okay.
going to move back home. I'm a country boy at
Yeah.
heart. I still got Tennessee tags, still got a Tennessee license. I've been in Chicago, 14 years. I still got
Yeah.
Tennessee everything,
Yeah.
right? So I was supposed to go to grad school for 2 years and come back. My sister was the only one that was like, life don't work like that. One opportunity may lead to another, and you don't know how long you're gonna be there, right? And I ended up getting a job at a CPS school, and the reason I stayed in CPS is at the time like 50% of black boys were dropping out of CPS high schools.
Chicago Public Schools. Yeah.
Yep,
Okay. Okay.
yeah,
Yeah.
Chicago Public
Yeah.
Schools. 50% of black
Yeah.
boys were dropping out. I'm like, oh, I'm needed here. Like, you know what I'm
What
saying?
year? What year is this? I'm just curious. For
This is
like so I can just kind of put it.
yeah, for sure. This is 2008, 2009.
Okay. Yeah.
You know what
And
I'm
that's
saying?
right before they had like that. What's that real like the little crash, the market crash thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's okay. I'm just trying to
So
picture the times.
yeah, man. So it was, bad. So I'm like, well, my skill set, my talent, my passion, cause like mentoring the youth is like something I'm big on. So I'm like, I'm needed right here, cause CPS is the third largest school district in the country. So I'm like, I'm gonna stay right here. So I started my after my first year, my principal believed in me and was like, you need to go get your leadership certificate so you can be a principal.
Yeah.
I ain't thinking about being no principal, you know what I'm saying? But you saying that for a reason, I'm gonna go like
Yeah. Yeah.
do that. And through my journey, I did aspire to be a principal. To be honest, I before this job, I had been trying to be a principal for like I think I had my license for like 6 years. And I ain't the type of person. If I get a license, I'm gonna use it.
Yeah.
I ain't just doing this for like just for stats. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Nah, for sure.
For letters on the end of my email. Nah,
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, so I kept applying, but the problem I was running into is I have a counselor background. I only taught in the classroom for like 1 year. My principal made me the counselor,
Hmm.
and then that was my entryway into like leadership. And a lot of schools are traditional. In order to be a principal, you had to be a teacher for at least 10
Yeah.
years. And I'm like, bro, just because you was a third grade math teacher for
Yeah.
10 years, don't mean you know how to run this high school.
Yeah.
Don't mean you know how to, what I'm saying, raise money. Don't mean you know how to balance a budget. Don't mean you know how to train other adults. Because a principal, that's what your job
Yeah.
is to build the capacity of your team and your people, which is a whole skill that ain't got nothing to do with your content, knowledge. So I say all that to say is it kind of, delayed my journey, but everything happened for a reason. The last job, I had to get up out of there. I started B3, was a full-time entrepreneur. That's a blessing because I never saw myself as a entrepreneur, So I'm glad that happened because now I'm in it and I like, love it. It's hard work. People be making entrepreneurship sound easy. It's not,
Yeah.
but it is fulfilling. Um, and then the job at Epic just kind of fell in my lap, and I really was kind of had closed that door on being a principal because I had tried for like 6 7 years. I'm trying to be a principal, and I'm interviewing,
Yeah.
but I'm not getting jobs. So at this point, I'm like, bump it, okay, maybe I'm meant to educate people some other way. So let me start my own company and educate people through my company.
Yeah.
And had kind of closed the door on being a principal. Then the job came, fell in my lap, and it's a perfect fit. So
Yeah. Nah, for sure. I can see it, especially like being in Chicago. You probably have a lot of the people can see themselves within you. Like
mhm.
with you first going there, I guess like on staff. Do you have like other staff that look like you? Maybe I'm sure. Like I'm not sure the demographic. Compared to Nashville, I wouldn't think not too many people with like even dreads or just kind of stereotyping profile. Cause I get done the same amount of times. Just like
Right.
looking like people that look like yourself in different positions. Uh, do you see that there?
Well, that's a like great question because nationally, let me ask you, I'm just curious. What demographic nationally out of all the teachers, what demographic as far as race and gender do you think is number one?
Out of all the teachers,
Out of all the teachers, in the country, What gender and what race?
Probably white women. I would
White
think.
women.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
What percentage of teachers in this country do you think are white women? White women are number one.
Maybe depending on where you're from. I don't know.
No, just nationally, all of them.
Nationally,
Whole country.
about half, at least half.
70%.
70%. Yeah.
70.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
So to answer your question, I've been in a school where
Okay. Yeah.
where
Okay. You
it
put it in
didn't
perspective.
where it
Yeah.
didn't match up.
Yeah.
And I've been in the school, you know, because I mainly want to serve my community.
Yeah.
So you know the first school I was at really didn't, but the second school, yes, you know, we had a large minority staff. You know, it didn't reflect the student population because the student population is like 100%.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
so it didn't reflect it all the way. You know, because at the end of the day, you need good teachers. I don't care what color you are. You know, but culturally relevant teaching is a real thing too. So you can know the content all day long, but if you can't connect with the students, that's an issue. If you are unwilling to examine your own bias that you might have, because I'm black, I be having to examine my own bias with my own people.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I'm
Nah,
saying?
I feel you.
So
yeah.
if I got to examine my bias with my own people, I know you need some examining too, you know, but that willingness to do it, which is another whole conversation, you know.
Yeah.
But